Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Aitken and Gasly, and we're in front of Latifi, Kvyat and Giovinazzi. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:40.3. Quick position rundown for you. The current top 5 are Aitken, Ocon, Bottas, Stroll and Gasly. Currently the fastest lap is a 1:40.5. Careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. The rookie, Aitken and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Are you feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the race? What was the secret of your qualifying pace? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip? Appreciate your time.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbejdžan Grand Prix. It's 3.7 miles around a lap of Baku City Circuit then, with 7 rights and 13 lefts, giving us a total of 20 corners. Watch out for the safety car today. Incidents are already common on this circuit, and the wet conditions will only make things worse, particularly through the incredibly narrow Turn 8. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk about the rookie. That was a great podium in the last race. So can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. The rookie lines up on pole position and Jack Aitken completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ocon, Charles Leclerc and Gasly, Norris, Vettel, Sainz and Nicholas Latifi, Albon, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi and Stroll. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. De Vries, Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo and George Russell, Joe and Nobuharu Matsushita. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish. Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap. The team want you to shift up through the gears earlier. They think it'll save fuel. Front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. A new strategy is available on the MFD. That looked bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're all right.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Jack Aitken gets my vote today. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Here's the top 5 cars as things stand. Leclerc, Aitken, Latifi, Bottas and Vettel. So just ahead of us in this session at the moment are Latifi, Bottas and Vettel. And behind us are Gasly, Albon and Ocon. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:29.3. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Aitken and Bottas, and we're in front of Vettel, Leclerc and Latifi. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1:28.9. You are in first position, front of the pack, and behind us are Aitken, Bottas, and Gasly. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:41.1.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. The rookie, Aitken, and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Looks like you had a great qualifying session. It must be a relief being that far up the grid. Did you feel that things went well for you today? What was the secret ingredient for your performance today? Appreciate your time.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. The Circuit Paul Ricard then, a 3.6-mile track, 25 miles east of Marseille. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, with the main overtaking chance expected going into turn 8. Top speeds today should be around 205 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. The rookie lines up on pole position, and Jack Aitken completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Bottas, Pierre Gasly, and Latifi, Vettel, Ocon, Joe, and Alexander Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, George Russell, and Stroll, Magnussen, De Vries, Lando Norris. They've taken a grid penalty, and Daniel Kvyat, Giovinazzi, and Nobuharu Matsushita. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. Very low on fuel. Trying to shift up through the gears earlier, it may help save more fuel. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Use your overtake button more, it's time to utilize some of this energy. The gap behind us is 4.7 seconds. Looking at some gearbox wear, trying to keep your number of shifts to a minimum. Understood, stopping this lap. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Copy. Release, release. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Nice work, that brings you up a place. Caution, caution. Okay, clear. The car ahead of you has just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound. Signs is ahead of you, less than a second separate you. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 34.8. Okay, at the current pace and fuel settings, we won't have enough fuel for the end of the race. Consider lowering the fuel mix. Push, push. Use your overtake button. If you continue to cut corners, the stewards will give you a penalty. You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second. Okay, clear. Gasly is behind you, less than a second separate you. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.5. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Nicholas is out of the race. This is your final lap of the race. Okay, Jeff here. You're causing unnecessary wear to your transmission. Try to take it easy or we risk losing it. You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
Let's move on to the constructors. Our championship leaders retain their position, but their lead is shrinking. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
mechanical issue means you've lost one of the gears. Say again, you have lost access to one of the gears.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Was there really any competition for you today? You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they? It was more like dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it? Appreciate your time.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.